Hey guys, I'm TT.
And I'm Beck.
And we're what the kids call
Woke or Whateva.
Okay, so this is our first solo episode since February?
J'ai pas calculé.
January? Something like that. Yeah. So we wanted to do something a little different. Usually, Beck and I, every episode, we come super prepared with clear facts, and not to say that we didn't research today, obviously we did, but it's I think our approach is more on an educational front. Like, this is what it is, and these are the facts, and this is why it's the facts, and whatever. And this episode is going to be a little different because during episode 1, we said that our podcast was going to be more also for us to deconstruct. Like, it's obviously for the viewers, but it's also for us to deconstruct and to challenge our beliefs and all of that. And throughout the last year and a half, we've had a lot of different opinions, change of opinions from what we said in the past, things like that. So what we wanted to do today was kind of bring you guys along our journey of deconstructing. So we have a topic today that we're not 100% sure about. We're still figuring it out. We're still unlearning, kind of like challenging what we believed was it. And we wanted to, so it's going to be a little less of, I don't want to say confidence, but comment t'expliquerais ça?
C'est vraiment un processus. Fait
yeah.
Quand ce qu'on va vous partager, je suis pas comme 100% sûre. Je pense que je pourrais pas vous le réexpliquer parce que dans ma tête, je suis encore en train de processer comment je le vois, puis est-ce que c'est vraiment mon stance? Genre, c'est pas aussi affirmatif que, OK, colorism is that, and period, puis genre, let's move on to the next subject. C'est vraiment comme si, tu sais, on avait une conversation, c'est des conversations qu'on a eues aussi.
Tout le temps.
Puis vraiment, c'est vraiment vous qui observez en live, nous qui se déconstruisons. Puis on veut vraiment que ce soit une discussion, fait qu'on vous invite à être dans les commentaires et à discuter avec nous, dire ce que vous êtes d'accord ou pas d'accord, parce que encore une fois, c'est pas set in stone.
This is basically like us inviting you guys in like our regular private conversations, kind of, you know. And recently we've been talking a lot about this, so c'est comme, why not just do it on the episode? It's only fair, right? Like, to not always come through with like the teacher vibe and just kind of like, we're not sure, you know.
Fait que dans le fond, l'épisode d'aujourd'hui, ça va être un peu une révision de notre stance as feminist. Pas de notre stance as feminism, mais c'est comme notre... Oh my God. L'évolution... Il faut que vous compreniez qu'avant de commencer, on était comme, OK, comment on introduit ça? J'avais une phrase... Puis là, j'explique, je suis comme...
This is not going to be like our most, I would say, structured episode, but it's going to be a really good one.
Ouais. OK, dans l'épisode 6, on a parlé de féminisme avec Ada. Puis c'était quoi le féminisme? C'est quoi l'intersectionnalité? What is black feminism? D'où ça venait et tout. Fait que là, c'est nous qui revenons sur le sujet, mais à travers des conversations qu'on a vues sur les réseaux sociaux, qu'on déconstruit un peu des stances qui sont vues as feminist stances, que nous, on n'est pas sûr, puis qu'on pense pas que ce soit as feminist as we think it is. C'est juste que c'est des conversations vraiment difficiles à avoir sur les réseaux, surtout with men around. Parce que quand on a ces conversations sur le féminisme, puis comme, une femme a le droit de faire ça, parce que c'est féminin. On pense que parce qu'un gars trouve ça dégradant et qu'une femme le fait quand même, c'est assez fort pour être un feminist stance, but no. Fait que c'est un peu nous qui revoit ça, qui revoit des phrases qu'on a vues, des commentaires qu'on a vus. Fait que chaque, en fait, section va commencer avec un quote qu'on déconstruit le pourquoi on pense que c'est vu as féministe et pourquoi, selon nous, ça l'est pas vraiment. Mais encore une fois, c'est notre processus. Fait que ça se peut que vous soyez aucunement d'accord avec ce qu'on va dire. Ça se peut que vous soyez genre... Elles sont complètement dans le champ, mais c'est vraiment pour ça qu'on vous invite, women, non-binary people, toutes les personnes vraiment qui sont victimes de misogynie, à commenter et à juste comme à expliquer c'est quoi votre point de vue, parce que c'est vraiment une discussion 100%. Là.
Yes. The only opinion that like doesn't really matter right now is like the opinion, obviously, of like cisgender heterosexual men. And je suis vraiment contente that you mentioned the discomfort with having this conversation, because I think like we're so busy constantly having to defend ourselves from men making these types of statements that it's hard for us to sit down and look at, like, have nuanced conversations on these statements that we believe are rooted in like female empowerment, but like, are they really? But it's hard to challenge that because there's always going to be a nigga to the side talking about that's no, you know? And it's like, obviously from their point of view, it's coming from a place of like hatred of women. But from us, it's really a question of how empowering are the things that we're saying, and do we say that it's empowerment as a way to kind of like not feel guilty of actively participating in the patriarchy? En tout cas.
Mais t'as bien expliqué.
Ouais.
C'est vraiment questionner quand on dit les choses qu'on dit, qu'est-ce qu'on accomplit en fait.
Yes, and where is it coming from? Like, what is it rooted in really?
Ouais, c'est rooted in quoi, puis ça nous amène où?
Yes. Okay, so the first statement that we hear all the time, especially in the last couple years. Oh, and by the way, everything we're saying, we're guilty of.
Well,
like, it's not on some higher horse shit. Like, it's really like we're guilty of that shit. And it's to understand. So we're kind of like challenging ourselves as well. So the first statement, the first phrase that we see a lot on social media and like in person is the whole, she's a pick-me. Like, you're a pick-me. Like, you're doing that. Oh, you're a pick-me, whatever. For those that are unfamiliar with the term pick-me, you know how it got like popularized? Like, you know where that comes from? The pick-me?
No.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
No, je sais pas.
Okay, so for those that watch Grey's Anatomy, basically in season 2, like Meredith was like begging Derek for him to choose her over his wife, and she was like, "So pick me,
Ça vient de là?
choose me, love me." Yeah, that's like kind of like where like, you know, because she was like literally she's literally said like pick me.
Begging,
Yeah. So that's kind of like that's like the origin. But people that show's been, that episode was really like from like 2006, but we recently started saying that, but people reference that a lot. So, a pick-me is basically anybody that does things, that says things with the motive of seeking acceptance from men, wanting to be appreciated by men. And usually the things that are being said by pick-me's are to be chosen by men, but you do that by simultaneously putting other women down on some I'm not like you other bitches, pick me because I'm different type shit. So I think pick-me-ism or pick-me culture should be criticized. I truly believe that, because it can be extremely harmful, right? Like, it's not always on some like cutesy shit. Like, pick-me's can promote violence against women. Pick-me's can enable men to be violent against women. They can, like, recently there was a podcast clip that was released of like this woman telling this guy like, yo, you should, as a woman, you should dress how you want to be addressed.
Ouais, j'ai vu ça.
When I see shit like that, I'm like, really, like, defund podcasts, like defund podcasts for real. But yeah, so she was saying that, and this is just an example of like promoting slut shaming culture, promoting victim blaming culture. We can promote these things by being pick me. So absolutely, I believe that pick me culture should be criticized. However, I feel like in our criticism of pick-me's, we can also promote pick-me behavior. And I've talked about this. I actually did a TikTok on this. I did a TikTok on this, and there were a lot of comments. There was a lot of engagement. A lot of people agreed. A lot of people disagreed. First of all, can we talk about why Beck was in my fucking comments, bitch? Like, if you want to fight, just say that. Like, what the fuck? En plus, je vois, je suis comme Becky Beck boop. But Beck and I do this all the time. Like, we go back and forth, and we know it's not no beef. Like, because we're really open to like being challenged, right? So, anyways, I did a video. Basically, my video was explaining how I feel like as women, when we criticize pick-me's, sometimes it's not coming from the right place, and it's rooted also in pick-me-ness. And I gave an example of like, you know, when girls are like, oh, I don't care, like, I don't need to be taken out on no date, like, you can have me eating chicken nuggets in your fucking broken down mattress on the floor and I'll be happy and I'm satisfied. I'm not like these other girls, I don't require a lot, I'm simple, blah blah. Obviously she's being a pick-me because she's putting down women that would rather not eat chicken nuggets on the floor, you know? But usually the other side, the anti-pick-me, is instead of criticizing, you know, instead of saying like, okay, you know, in a heterosexual relationship, women have little to nothing to gain, so might as well ask for a little bit more. Instead of it coming from that type of place, we criticize that by centering ourselves and immediately wanting to let the world know that our standards are so much higher and like we're such like high value women. We'll be like, what? Me, I could never. If it's not a 6-course dinner, I don't want it. Like, I have standards, and it's kind of like it becomes that. And sometimes it becomes that when a girl is not even being a pick-me. And y'all, if you guys like follow our shit, like you listen to the episodes, especially you watch our lives, I done said some shit about pick-me's. Like, I'm very, like, I've criticized pick-me's a lot. And I don't now, like today, like in June, at 23 years old, I can confidently say that, like, I don't necessarily agree with all the things that I said, and I think I might have been too harsh at times.
Right.
Like, I did a lot, you know? And now, thinking back, I'm like, was it 100% rooted in me being like, you're setting women back, and you're actively participating in the patriarchy? Is it 100% rooted in that? Because you could see a girl saying, I want to be proposed to with the Walmart ring, and she's not even saying nothing about nobody else. She's just saying, for me, I'm happy being proposed to with the Walmart ring, but then the comments are going to be filled with women saying how they're much better than a Walmart ring. And it's like, you're such a pick-me, like, I'm so much better. I could never do a Walmart ring. It's like, but sis, who asked you?
Pour vrai, OK. Pour vrai, au début, quand Titi a expliqué sur TikTok, elle expliqué, genre, c'était où she was, like, c'était quoi son stand à travers sa vidéo TikTok. J'étais en désaccord. Je suis comme, non, je pense pas que ça vient d'une place nécessairement où we are seeking for male validation. But là, maintenant, comme après les lectures que j'ai faites, ça va revenir dans un sujet plus tard, comme Black Women in Luxury. Mais je pense que les deux stands sont vraiment mauvaises. Dans le sens que la définition d'une pick-me, comme tu as dit, c'est une femme qui bring other women's down while she's saying it. Genre, oh, these other female are not cooking and I'm cooking since I was 6. That's a pick-me. Mais comme tu as dit maintenant, n'importe quoi qu'une fille comme tweet, genre, you know, I'm just like, I'm vibing. I love vibe. Comme j'aime être... Non, mais comme j'aime les dates dans un parking and just like with a burger, I'm happy. On vient pour elle. Tu vois les quote retweets? Oui! Il y a comme 5000 quote retweets. Au début, j'étais comme, oh, est-ce qu'elles peuvent, like, se la fermer, genre, whatever. Mais both are bad. Comme, actually, je pense que la personne qui tweet, genre, oh, j'aime juste les vibes, j'aime juste viber, est beaucoup plus dans le right que la personne qui prend le temps de quote retweet pour dire que elle a besoin de, comme, 5-course meal et tout. Parce que c'est rooted in something else. C'est pas la misogynie nécessairement, but c'est rooted in the male gaze, dans le sens que c'est comme it's rooted in capitalism. Mm-hmm. Puis c'est problématique d'une autre façon. So it's worse qu'une personne qui fait juste dire que comme I love vibe. Comme parce que pour vrai, qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit? Et souvent ces gens-là sont super jeunes, comme 17, 18, 19. Puis elle a décidé que comme
moi,
elle aime les crèmes glacées.
I've come for next. Same. Yo, ice cream dates, j'ai drag up and down. Genre, c'est comme maintenant, j'y pense, puis je suis comme, that was not necessary.
C'était pas nécessaire. Parce qu'elle a rien dit sur toi. Hein.
Elle m'a tellement rien fait, mais c'est comme, why do I feel the need to want to make sure everyone knows that I'm better than an ice cream date? Like, in what way am I threatened? In what way is my, like, womanhood, like, threatened? No way is it threatened, but I have to make sure this is my opportunity. Like, it's like we look at that as like an opportunity to let niggas know, better believe I'm not no ice cream date type of bitch.
I'm not like them.
I'm not like these bitches. C'est la même chose. Puis aussi, comme dans les commentaires, il y avait des femmes qui me disaient genre, non, Titi, you're wrong because pick-me's are seeking male validation, and most men love the idea of a simple girl. So which men are you really trying to attract by going out of your way to say that you are a 5-course meal type of bitch? But I'm like, but first of all, we see on social media girls being wined and dined all the time. There are niggas out there that will pay a 5-course meal. So is it rooted in trying to attract that, or is it just rooted in wanting to seem inaccessible, wanting to seem like such like above, like, you know what I mean?
Mais c'est exactement ce que tu disais, l'idée de high value. I'm a high value woman.
Yeah.
Meaning that I'm better than her.
Yes.
Fait que c'est soit c'est ça, ou c'est soit comme tu as dit, I'm looking for male validation, but another kind of man. So pas nécessairement celui qui est comme, c'est comme, je veux monter les échelons.
Oui.
Fait que pas nécessairement l'homme que lui, il va être comme, oh ouais, une fille que, genre, je peux emmener prendre une crème glacée parce que that's what I can afford. Mais tu cherches le gars qui va t'emmener faire des voyages, qui va t'emmener... Est-ce que les filles flex? Et ça, c'est problématique d'une autre façon.
Yeah. Exactly. So, for me, I'm like, I need to chill in how I'm checking pick-me's. Puis comme, yo, pour de vrai, guys, il y a tellement de receipts. C'est juste aller dans nos épisodes, aller dans nos lives. Bitch, I be talking shit. Puis c'est correct. Comme, yo, pour de vrai, tu sais, un live que je suis comme, I don't know. The live... But like, I don't 100% disagree. Like, I think it was good to criticize it, but I was going mad hard on the one when we were talking about submitting to a man. I agree with the idea that like the submission part, like I don't feel like women should submit to men. But there are a lot of things that I said, I'm like, nah, bitch, you was doing too much. And puis c'est chill, puis comme I'm understanding now, like kind of like where that anger comes from a little bit. So it's not necessarily anger. I don't know what it is. Like, what is it? Like, what makes us mad like that, though? Parce que pour de vrai, it's really, we see.
Moi, qu'est-ce qui m'énerve dans cette... Je pense que I still stand by what I said, dans le sens que comme, quand on parle de couple hétérosexuel, il faut toujours qu'on parle de dynamique de pouvoir.
Oui.
And now, la différence avec le live et maintenant, c'est que I'm kind of leaning toward, I think we should just abolish gender.
Yeah, oh, we're gonna get into that too.
Ouais, c'est une autre, j'ai comme un autre stance, comme, ça m'énervait vraiment beaucoup que comme, pourquoi on doit toujours parler de dynamique de pouvoir entre hommes et femmes? Pourquoi on doit dire que comme on est complémentaires, mais pas pareil? Pourquoi on peut pas être juste two human beings who cares for each other?
Yeah.
Puis c'est là que ça m'énervait, mais et maintenant, je suis vraiment juste comme, I think we should abolish gender.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Je suis un peu dans un autre...
Yeah. No, I feel like that we were 100% in the right to criticize it. I just feel like certain things, it was just...
Faudrait que je le réécoute.
Yeah, because I was watching it earlier and I was like, bitch, relax. Chill. Okay, but anyways, another element of Pick Me that we see a lot, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but the natural girls. Like the natural girls, the natural body girls, the natural hair girls. And here's the thing, okay? I think that embracing your natural hair is really important. Embracing your natural body is really important because you're essentially defying especially as a Black woman with art, if you have coarser hair, it's like you're 100% saying fuck the standards, fuck the beauty standards, things like that. However, I feel like in some ways, some women that are natural, whether it's their bodies or their hair, can flex that naturalness while also being like shaming women that aren't.
Ouais, mais je le vois tout le temps.
Yeah.
Il y a les gens qui sont comme, mais moi je suis naturelle. Peut-être sur les pages, j'ai vu une fille sur TikTok se faire drag parce que elle, ses cheveux sont relaxed, puis ses cheveux sont longs. Puis,
oh my God, I saw that girl.
Ouais, puis les gens étaient vraiment dans leurs feelings in the comments, like, ouais, but c'est still pas bon et tout. Mais là, je suis comme, mais est-ce que, like, is it really that deep?
Yeah.
Comme si ses cheveux sont relaxed, je pense qu'il y a des problèmes plus importants.
Yeah.
Elle qui a comme, ouais, non, ça c'est, tu le vois tout le temps, but not that they have a point.
I get their point. It's just, I think it's not as black and white as we're making it seem.
Non,
it's
c'est jamais
not
as black and white.
Because I'm natural, like I'm completely like you followers of the system. It's it's giving that sometimes, and it's like you can't be mad. Like you can't necessarily be mad at someone who's surviving, like because let's say you're not natural, for example, and you choose to relax your hair. There's multiple reasons for that. But essentially, most of those reasons are rooted in assimilation and wanting to, make your life easier by having straighter hair, especially if you have like 4C hair. It's easier to be accepted in society. So I don't think it's fair to judge the person that is doing everything they can to basically survive. I think coming for them is not the solution.
It's not fair. Dans le fond, ça, on est d'accord. On est comme, it's not fair. Mais est-ce que l'affaire que les personnes qui, justement, are surviving admettent pas, c'est que they are surviving.
They don't admit that, absolutely.
C'est ça le problème. Parce que les gens qui critiquent, c'est comme, c'est pas parce que t'as des cheveux naturels que t'es déconstruit. Et même si on rentre dans quel genre de cheveux naturels est praise, c'est une autre conversation.
Ouais.
Comme, ça, c'est autre chose. Mais aussi, les personnes qui répondent à ça en somme, I do it for me.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about the I do it for me, and I think this could rattle some feathers, but it's okay. Like, you know, we're just deconstructing. But yeah, it's not as black and white, but I do feel like there's a lot of natural pick-me's out there, and it's really you see that a lot. Also, another element that I'm not even fully like, I don't even know fully like how to even explain it, but again, quand t'as dit, in heterosexual relationships, there's a clear power dynamic, right? And I am 100%, my stance, and I don't see that changing anytime soon, is that in heterosexual relationships, women don't gain that much compared to what the man gains, right? Like, it's clear. I truly believe that. So understanding that and understanding how many women are constantly being abused, whether it's like through emotional manipulation, physical, all of that, I feel like sometimes we have a way of, I could never ing stories of women that are in relationships that are going through some shit or that have gone through some shit. And I think that's another element of pick me that I want to talk about. It's the whole, there was this trend going on of, you know, the song, I remember when, I remember. And then girls were saying like the embarrassing things that they've done for men. And it's like, yeah, like granted, like a lot of them were like super embarrassing, but having been in a relationship and like having done like really embarrassing shit for a nigga and thinking that I was never like that. Like I was definitely on some, I could never shit. And like, I've done that, you know, while being a feminist, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, but I was incredibly emotionally manipulated. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much, like, that shit fucked my head for real. That nigga fucked with my head for real. So it's like, I feel like a lot of times, like, when we're saying, like, girl, what? Like, you did that? Like, I wish, you know, a nigga would da-da-da. Like, what? You did that? Like, for real? And it's like, it's coming from a place of, like, I would never. And that is also rooted in, for me, it's giving me pick me vibes.
Je pense qu'il y a un manque, il y a clairement un manque d'empathie, premièrement, quand on est genre comme, I could never. Ça, c'est un. Puis deux, on l'a déjà dit ça, par exemple, comme la misogynie, like, just come at you really quick. Comme, tu peux dire que, I could never, comme, un négro pourrait jamais me faire, but, like, la réalité, là, c'est que, on dirait qu'à chaque fois que tu dis ça, you're next.
Yeah.
Comme tu déclenches quelque chose, puis t'es comme, non, you're next. Je pense que ce qui est encore important de comprendre, c'est que comme tu peux pas échapper...
La misogynie.
Tu peux pas, comme, finesse le patriarcat, genre. Tu peux pas finesse le patriarcat en disant, this is never gonna happen to me, comme, je vais jamais me faire battre, ou je vais jamais, comme, être dans une situation où... I'm gonna be embarrassed by a nigga for X, Y, Z. Je trouve qu'on a trop la mentalité que comme I can escape ou que je peux genre dodge des bullets.
Yeah.
Mais comme c'est un système en place qui fait que comme les filles sont comme on socialise les gars à put women through this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Puis tu peux pas, il y a pas de escape, il y a pas de exit. Il y a pas d'exit à la misogynie, tu peux pas genre comme it really comes at you quick. Puis je pense que c'est quelque chose qu'il faut comprendre quand t'as le réflexe de critiquer une fille because she went through traumatic shit.
Yeah, kind of to like let people know that like you could never, like you're above that. Like I'm not like these women that are getting abused. Like girl, like it's not giving what you think it's giving. Especially quand, tu sais, on a vu il y avait plein de féminicides au Québec, and like I would see like questionable things where people were like, you know, we're announcing like it's the 10th woman, it's the 11th woman, and then I would see like, I wish a nigga put his hands like.
Ouais, c'est ça.
It's like okay, like all right, what are you trying to say? Like that they didn't try to fight back, like that, like what are you trying to say? Like you're above that? Like I wish, like it's not giving again, like what we think it's giving.
C'est le mauvais commentaire, puis c'est les mauvaises questions. Comme à place d'être juste comme le fait que notre réaction va être wish nigga would, et pas genre yo, comme ça qu'il y a autant de filles que comme who go through this and like questionner ça and go, mais ça va toujours du mauvais bord.
It's always messy, but anyways, so that's an element. But the last thing about pick me that I wanted to talk about is pick me activism. And we were I completely made that term up. Like y'all could tell this is coming from me. Like it's pick me activism. And we talked about that. Like est-ce que tu te rappelles il y a quelques semaines, I was like, I'm really tired of us begging for black.
Oui.
You know what I mean?
Oui!
This
oui.
is one I want to get into.
Okay.
So, okay, pick me activism. Don't even Google it. Like, I really just came up with that shit. But pick me activism, basically, how I would define it is, and that's something that I feel like I participated in.
Ouais, moi aussi.
Oh, we have, like, literally on the podcast.
Oui. And then I got tired. Genre, je pense que je suis rendue au point que quand I got tired.
At the same time. Like, I love that for us. Like, I love that for us. Pour le vrai, I saw this post about, like, Black men, like, we do everything for you, and you don't see us. They're never there for us the way that we're there for them. And it's just, I don't know where that came up, that came from, this feeling of, like, being so fed up with this conversation. And I sent that post to Beck, and I was like, Beck, honestly, I don't ever want us to have this conversation ever again. And she was like, sis, I feel you. And then we started to talk about that. And then I finally understood, like, okay, let's no question. We've talked about Black men a lot on the podcast.
On a fait the whole episode.
Fact.
On a fait the whole episode.
But where do you think this, like, disgust came out of? And, like, why do you think we both felt it at the same time? Is it the whole idea of, like, because we're in a pandemic, like, we're not, like, heteronormative, like, things are not thrown in our face, so we're able to, like, disassociate ourselves from, like, men like that? Or, like, where do you think it's coming from?
Je sais vraiment.
I think maybe it could be that.
Ça se peut que ce soit ça. Ça se peut que le fait que comme on n'est pas autour d'hommes comme ça all the time à cause de la pandémie.
And I think, like, it could have affected my way of looking at men, honestly, in general.
Ouais. Comme j'ai même plus l'énergie de beg.
Like, and it's like, yo, I feel like we begged, dog. Like,
ouais.
Like, let's be real.
Non, mais vraiment intensément. Like, I was sad.
It's like, bruh, like, we said some shit. Like, we beg niggas. And I don't ever want to do that. And I would consider that pick me activism simply because when you're a cis-het woman, okay, it's like, when you're looking at the social hierarchy of who is able to oppress in the Black community, it's no question Black men are at the top, right? But, like, cis-het women, like, we're not far behind. That's the thing. It's like, we're not on some at the bottom of the hierarchy type shit. We're right behind. And we're very useful to these oppressors, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, because there's already the element of the fact that, like, they can date us. Like, it's a lot. So it's like, we're right behind them. We're definitely not the most oppressed in the Black community, not even close. And we're very much oppressors in the community, right? Like, hello. And we've mentioned that before. And feminism is Black feminism is literally held down by Black lesbians. Okay, like, they started this shit, and they're the reason the movement exists. They're the reason why we've gotten a lot of shit done. It's Black feminists, and they get no flowers, and no one talks about them and everything, but it's Black feminists. Now, a Black lesbian feminist. Now, in the social hierarchy, they're not right behind Black men. It's cis-het women that are right behind Black men. Mm-hmm. And if we're talking to Black men on some, y'all are the ones that oppress us the most in the community, stop it, blah, blah, blah. Technically, if the begging Black men is truly coming from a place of, like, can you please dismantle these harmful systems, shouldn't the ones at the bottom be the ones begging Black men like that? But it's not.
They don't.
It's us.
They don't.
You know what I mean? It's us. And it's like, thinking of that, it's like, I follow Black queer activists, and they don't mention Black men like that. They don't.
They really don't.
They don't be talking about them.
Ils les centrent pas comme ça, comme la façon dont nous, on centre. Puis on les centre même pas en somme. C'est ça qui m'énerve. On les centre même pas en somme, stop oppressing us. On les centre en somme, let us in.
Yes! And it's giving very much Black man wanting to sit at the white man's table.
Ouais. On les somme comme, we're so close to y'all. On est comme, oh, we deserve protection. We deserve this. We deserve to be, like, je sais pas, feel womanly ou je sais pas trop quoi. On est vraiment attachés. I don't have any. Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're drinking.
Yeah.
Ok, wow.
Wow. On les centre ensemble.
Mais on n'est pas... C'est comme on est... C'est un peu... Wow. Ok. C'est un peu que comme si on les beg de juste comme... let us oppress others with y'all. Comme, c'est pas ça qu'on dit, mais it sounds like that parce que y a aucune raison que comme we beg them comme ça if they never really had our backs like that, puis qu'on se retourne pas vers les gens que nous on oppresse and do better for them, parce que black, lesbian and queer people and like disabled black people sont vraiment les gens qui nous soutiennent like as a whole, puis comme in a day-to-day life. Fait que I feel que c'est les gens qu'on devrait worry about.
Yeah.
À la place de beg every day, comme for decades, comme pour des années, pour être juste comme, oh, please, black men, non. Puis c'est genre, on dirait qu'après l'été passé, parce qu'on, like, what we went through, on dirait que j'ai eu un, comme, yo, I can't. J'ai plus cette énergie d'être juste comme, black men. Même de commencer une phrase par black men, it's like,
it's the same way I feel about like white, when we're like, ugh, white people, because
ouais.
On avait dit ça episode 1. At least we weren't all the way dans le champ. Like au moins on a, like we said in episode 1, like our podcast is not rooted on some white people see us, white people like stop like racism. Like it was never giving that. But the same energy that I had for that, I think now I'm on some like what am I crying to y'all for? Like it's just
comme je suis vraiment dans un mindset de trouver avec qui je suis en communauté.
Yeah.
So, vraiment trouver les gens avec qui, comme, I want to build something, I want to build, like, a better society et tout, puis qui sont down d'avancer avec moi. So, like, peu importe quel homme noir est actually down de le faire, he gonna pick up, comme, il va juste suivre.
Yeah.
But, like, begging them as a whole, pour que tout le monde soit comme... Like, it's setting us back so much.
It is.
Que, comme, it's just like pourquoi. Puis je trouve que cet été when we were like je trouve que comme même si we talked about black men dans le podcast, we really centered black women, and this summer quand on a été genre on the spotlight,
what summer?
Le summer de 2020.
Okay.
So this summer qu'on était dans le spotlight en 2020, the black men who wanted to follow decided to follow. Puis I'm on some qui est comme, if you want to follow us, follow us. Si tu veux pas être dans la conversation, t'es pas dans la conversation. Mais je suis plus tournée vers là and like waiting for you. Parce que pourquoi?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Like it's really that. And it's, see, the thing is, okay, with the whole black men protect us, black men hear us, whatever, is it 100% coming from a place of we want them to dismantle the different systems of oppression?
No, it's not even like that.
It's not even from there.
It's not even like that.
It's not from there. And I feel like a lot of it is like we want to be held. Like, we want to be like loved, like even like in a romantic sense, because I feel like the element of us liking men romantically is involved in a lot of our begging for them.
Tu sais quoi? I feel like it is rooted in us wanting to feel like women.
Oh my God, oui.
It's parce que Lorsqu'il l'avait dit dans le podcast qu'on avait fait l'épisode, elle a dit, I don't think black men see us as women at all. And womanhood is tied c'est vraiment tied with like the idea of womanhood that we know is tied with white supremacy.
Yeah.
So it's craft for white women. Genre, les femmes noires ont aucunement rapport là. Peu importe à quel point tu mets du maquillage et que comme tu te présentes as féminine, un argument with a black man et on va te traiter d'homme like dans l'argument ou like de singe ou whatever, comme on va te déshumaniser real quick.
Yeah.
Puis on sait que comme to feel womanly, we have to have like that male gaze that we don't receive from black men. So j'ai vraiment l'impression que it's us begging for like to feel like women, like begging, wanting that womanhood. Puis c'est pour ça que comme we're like, oh, love us, oh, be there for us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. I see that now.
C'est pour ça que je suis un peu aboli-gender parce que je suis
Yo,
juste comme,
I see that now. For the vrai, it's not even just on some date me. It's really just like see me as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yo, for real. But I've decided honestly that I just want to stop centering men in our discussions of like we get it. You know, we get it. They're at the top of the social hierarchy, but let's not, because the thing is like especially like on social media, there's a lot of people I see on Twitter that are like, Black men, where y'all at? Nah, nah, nah. And it's women that are like very much like homophobes. You know what I mean? Like women that are very much like transphobic. You know, it's like women that 1 second I see they're making like a joke about like like they're like laughing at something transphobic, but then the next moment it's like, Black men, y'all don't see. And it's like, sis, like it's definitely not coming from a dismantle these systems, because you are very much part of the systems that oppress the ones that are at the bottom that could benefit from Black men getting their shit together. You know, so it's like when I see that the whole Black men, it's like, we really want to feel protected, soft, right? Like we want to feel gooey, you know? And it's like I'm good on that right now. It's like I'm good on that. And I think I don't want to clown anybody that's like doing that, because again, everything we're criticizing, bro, like we've been on that type of time. You know what I mean? But I can't help but to cringe at the idea of me being on this mic talking about some Black men. Like it's like now I'm just like, it's next, you know, like
non, c'est vraiment next. C'est vraiment
like,
comme next.
What else is
next,
new?
on va beg for 10 years again. Like, comme,
I'm over it,
moi,
fam.
Tout ça, toutes les discussions, tous les lives, tout ce qui est centré sur like why Black, je suis comme non. On va dans la mauvaise direction, puis c'est pas une direction de déconstruire nothing. Puis si on comprend pas que si on déconstruit pas ces systèmes, ça va toujours être un cercle, puis ça va toujours être le même. It's like c'est weak.
C'est weak, and it's like, okay, weak. I'm good.
Ouais, c'est ça. C'est genre, on l'a dit 1 fois, 2 fois, 42 fois, comme à un moment donné, genre.
Yeah.
Faut que tu te fatigues.
Yeah, and I really have to be honest. Like, pour les guys, like, we have to be honest with ourselves when we're saying these things. It's like, it's not coming from a place of, I trust Black men to, like, by me saying this right now, by me calling them out. And it's coming from a very selfish place. A lot of times we're not even thinking about queer people. We're not even thinking about disabled Black people. We're not even thinking about all the other groups that we could oppress as well. Like, we're not thinking about them often when we're begging Black men, you know? I could be really honest. There's times where I've been like, Black men, and it's like I really have my own interest in mind.
C'est vraiment, ça vient de, I feel like it's a selfish place.
It's a selfish place, and the same way that you will have Black men that beg white men to see us white people or whatever. They're not coming from I want the liberation of all of my people, and I trust that you guys can do that. It's coming from a place of, I'm so close to be at y'all table. I'm so close to be seen by you guys. Like, come on, see me. It's really coming from a selfish place, and like, all of the criticism that we've been doing to Black men, like, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, yo, we're not that far off in the social, in the scale, like, and we be doing similar things. So pick me activism, I'm good on that. Next, like, I can leave that behind. And I love that we've both come to that conclusion, but we talked about this shit, we really talked about this.
Vraiment, là, il y a une semaine, là.
Yeah, we literally just talked about it. Like, I was like, Beck, I don't know why this is making me cringe right now. Right? Like, it's like...
Ouais, non, ça fait un moment que j'étais comme fatiguée, puis j'étais comme, cette conversation-là est pas productive en aucune manière.
Yeah, like, I'm like, fully, like, I'm decentering men in my fights.
Ouais. Je pense que, c'est, comme tu as dit, c'est plus productif de fight comme pour vraiment décentraliser les hommes de notre vie. So be a better human for others, que juste comme, I want to feel like a woman, I want to feel soft, I want to feel like a human.
Right?
I want to feel like a human. Puis je vais faire en sorte que I make other people feel like human as well. Plutôt que comme de beg. Parce que they already see me. Comme les gens qui sont en dessous de moi, they already see me as a human. So.
That's good.
You know, c'est bon. On a fait le tour.
Yeah.
OK. So, on va aller au deuxième topic. Actually, à la deuxième quote. And this one is... OK, this one is... Yo, female rappers have the right to talk about their pussy. To rap about their pussy. Mm-hmm. Yo, je savais même pas comment introduire... Parce que là, j'ai l'impression que je vais vraiment à l'opposé de everything that I ever said on social media.
To it.
Yeah.
Ooh, child.
j'ai vraiment l'impression que je vais à l'opposé de tout ce que j'ai dit on social media ever. So, je savais même pas comment introduire le sujet, mais ce que je vais faire, c'est que vraiment commencer par parler du Sexual Liberation Movement, puis dans le fond d'un texte que j'ai lu. Puis ça va avoir l'air far-fetched, mais it's gonna make sense quand je vais arriver comme au female rapper, ok? So j'ai lu un article qu'on va actually link dans les dans whatever ce qui est en dessous. Comme je même pas. Vous avez vraiment compris ce que je disais.
Not the liquor hitting.
Puis le nom de l'article c'est A Socialist, Feminist and Transgender Analysis of Sex Work. Puis c'est un article qui a été écrit par une femme transgenre latina qui parle de son expérience en tant que prostituée. Fait que c'est une ancienne prostituée. Puis elle parle de la glamourisation de la prostitution dans sa communauté, mais aussi en général. Puis elle commence par dire que j'ai parlé de la prostitution spécifiquement, not le travail du sexe, parce que comme mon expérience est l'expérience en tant que prostituée. OK? Fait qu'elle explique de comment elle a commencé à faire de la prostitution et tout, qu'elle a commencé vraiment jeune et qu'au début, être une prostituée était un peu son fuck you à la société. So, fuck all the people that don't see me as a woman, fuck all the people who, like, qui rient de moi, comme, fuck all the people, like, toutes les family members who won't accept me, toutes les personnes qui m'ont rejetée et tout. And elle dit, je me sentais empowered on a surface level because it was a big fuck you, genre, I'm gonna have sex and I'm gonna make money out of it. And that's how I'm gonna make my life. Puis elle a dit, mais vraiment, rapidement, it became hell. Et c'était plus le empowerment shit que je pensais que c'était au début. So, qu'est-ce qu'elle explique? Puis ça, pour de vrai, cet article m'a vraiment choqué parce que ça m'a vraiment setback de tout ce que je pensais que comme the
like
way
challenged all your beliefs.
Ouais. Mm-hmm. Parce que ce qu'elle disait, dans le fond, c'est que son expérience en tant que prostituée l'a rendue socialiste communiste et d'où ça vient, c'est que fait qu'au début elle voyait des hommes chaque jour pour getting money, puis elle était comme j'étais obligée de voir des hommes chaque jour parce que I was homeless. So, comme beaucoup de personnes transgenres, j'étais homeless. So, j'étais dans une chambre d'hôtel et pour pouvoir payer la chambre d'hôtel chaque jour, I needed to have client every day.
Okay.
So, every day I had client. Puis, trigger warning, elle a dit que c'est vraiment graphique. Trigger warning, elle dit j'ai été violée comme un nombre incalculable de fois. Comme j'ai été droguée aussi. Les gens, souvent, comme les clients arrivent, ils vont me faire des affaires et à la fin, ils veulent toujours essayer de comme get away with it puis me payer moins que s'ils étaient supposés de me payer. Puis, elle dit, at some point, quelqu'un... Puis elle, comme je me sentais vraiment seule puis vraiment isolée, vraiment, vraiment quickly. And it was not fun anymore. Puis elle dit, le problème avec l'idée de la prostitution, la glamourisation de la prostitution, and us saying like, oh, it's their choice, ils ont le droit que comme les prostituées ou les travailleurs du sexe ont le droit de choisir ce path-là. Elle est comme, mais est-ce que c'est vraiment un choix quand j'ai pas de sortie? Comme je pouvais pas faire autre chose, je pouvais pas arrêter d'avoir des clients parce que sinon comme j'allais être dans la rue. Puis je devais comme voir des clients constamment. Puis elle dit, une fois, I was so sad. J'en parlais à comme un de mes clients, puis il était comme, I'm gonna make you feel better. Puis il a drogué tout le point que comme elle a perdu conscience. And il est parti sans la payer et tout. Puis elle a dit, mon corps shut down. Comme pour de vrai, it was too much. Puis c'était trop de trauma. Puis c'était juste comme beaucoup trop de emotional labor. And I had to keep going anyway. Parce que je devais quand même payer la chambre et tout. Fait que I was still seeing clients while que j'avais aucunement process ce que je vivais. Puis elle est comme, at some point, I stopped. Et j'ai passé des années dans la rue. Comme des années dans la rue. Puis la conclusion de tout ça, elle était comme, la prostitution, on en parle de la mauvaise façon parce que la prostitution, at its root, est oppressive. comme c'est pas une question de choix, de je veux, de comme je veux pas, comme at its root, c'est oppressif. Puis quand la façon dont on parle de la prostitution souvent, c'est vraiment globalisé parce qu'on est comme décriminaliser le sex work, puis comme genre le droit de vouloir de travailler dans le sexe, puis c'est le it's the oldest kind of work. Puis mais ce qu'elle disait, c'est que comme mais la prostitution n'a jamais existé sans violence, sans l'existence du patriarcat et sans l'esclavage. Puis elle est comme, even when you go back to the earliest like state of comme prostitution, à la base, it was slaves women that were being sold to other men, à des hommes de la bourgeoisie pour comme avoir des services sexuels et tout. Fait que de base, c'est oppressif. Puis elle est comme, ça fait deux choses, la prostitution. Un, ça réaffirme aux gens de la bourgeoisie, fait que les gens qui sont plus hauts, qu'ils ont they have a hold on the lower classes and they can do whatever they want with women. That's one. Et deux, ça fait la détrimentation du working class parce que les hommes qui sont au même level que nous also feel powerful because they can have a prostitute as well. So eux, ils sont en solidarité avec la bourgeoisie plutôt que with other women in the same class parce que c'est comme je peux avoir une prostituée moi aussi and do whatever the fuck I want with her.
Yeah.
Fait qu'elle est comme ouais.
Damn.
Fait qu'elle est comme souvent on parle de la décriminalisation de sex work, puis elle est comme c'est vrai que en tant que personne marginalisée, on vit beaucoup de violence de la part de la police et tout, mais il faut comprendre que at its root, la prostitution existe parce que le patriarcat est là, parce que le capitalisme est là, puis à cause que just violence against women, c'est normalisé. Puis elle disait que à cause, souvent, la façon dont on le frame, on dit que, women get currency off, like, la prostitution, off le travail du sexe. Fait que c'est la preuve que les femmes ont plus de agency. So, parce qu'il n'y a pas de slave master, on a l'impression que it's our own choice. Mais elle est comme, ce qu'on comprend pas, c'est que dans un monde capitaliste, c'est le capital qui rules. So, est-ce que c'est vraiment un choix si I have to do this to survive et qu'il n'y a aucune autre façon de sortir? Elle est comme, historiquement parlant, à chaque fois que le travail du sexe devient plus populaire, c'est une réflexion du failure du système. So, plus le système est broken, plus comme l'école, ça fonctionne pas, plus les gens sont en dette, plus le medical care is hard to, like, access to, plus il y a une augmentation du travail du sexe. So, c'est pas un hasard que OnlyFans got a raise of popularité pendant la pandémie.
La pandémie! Ouais. Oh shit!
Il y a un lien direct entre les deux.
Yeah! Damn, bro.
Ouais.
That's... Damn.
Ouais. Il y a un lien direct entre les deux.
Like literally because it's not made to thrive in the system that we're in. So as soon as the system starts to fuck up, that's when...
C'est là qu'il y a un rise. C'est-à-dire, automatiquement, quand on voit un rise du travail du sexe, ça veut dire que the system is being broken down, comme it's failing. Fait qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui se retournent vers la prostitution. Puis elle dit, le problème avec elle dit la raison pour laquelle que on parle beaucoup de la prostitution comme c'est glamourisé, puis on est un peu genre, they have the right to do this, that. Elle dit parce que les gens qui parlent pour les travailleuses du sexe sont des femmes privilégiées. Fait que c'est des femmes who have choices. C'est des femmes qui peuvent faire un OnlyFans si elles veulent. Si ça ferme, they have other options. Mais si t'es vraiment in the bottom et que comme you're actually doing sex work, t'auras pas la même vision. Et elle dit c'est vraiment pour ça que c'est hyper important que ce soit les femmes qui sont pas privilégiées puis que comme it's their only choice qui sont à l'avant de ce mouvement parce que la conversation qu'on a en ce moment est mauvaise.
We're glamorizing it. It's either we're shaming it or we're glamorizing it and there's no nuance to it. And see, even if we're talking about the current, pour de vrai, who's that woman? Do you know her name?
Non, il y a pas de nom, ça s'écrit c'est comme un nickname puis c'est juste écrit Proletarian Feminist, Mais I'm gonna send you. Like,
Send me that shit.
Ouais,
What the
ouais,
fuck?
c'est vraiment
That's
intéressant. Je lisais ça, puis c'est même pas la moitié du truc, like, comme it goes,
That's
it
really
goes, it goes, it goes. Ouais,
That's really
ouais.
interesting. But even if we're looking at it through like modern days, like not like sex work through the internet, OnlyFans, right? There are a lot of women on OnlyFans that have talked about like don't do it, you know. And again, this is not like my stance is not don't get an OnlyFans. Do whatever you want. Like I 100% support women having agency over their bodies and like doing whatever they want. But it's the idea of now when we're in our ways in attempting to sound progressive and empowering, we fully glamorize sex work when, comme t'as dit, sex work is linked with a lot of oppressive systems that are not being addressed, and there's no nuance. And I think that that's the point of this whole episode, is to talk about the middle ground that is not being talked about. It doesn't have to be so black and white. It doesn't have to be wrong. You're slut shaming. Yes, you're glamorizing. There has to be a middle ground. And again, that middle ground we're not able to discuss it when there are our oppressors in the room. But now we're
shaming, ouais, pendant qu'on essaie d'avoir une discussion.
But now we're free from that, so we can actually talk about it. And it's interesting because I've seen women with OnlyFans talking about it's not what you think it is. It's really not what you think it is, especially marginalized women talking about like things like as being outed, you know, to like family members, or like, you know, not being able to get employment outside of OnlyFans after that, like things like that. And these are things that are not talked about. So it's really, really necessary for us to, when we're talking about sex work, that we look at the ups and downs as well. And also the idea that the ones that are at the top of the social hierarchy are the ones that are going to benefit from it the most.
Exactement, c'est vraiment ça. Puis elle était vraiment comme il y aura toujours une dynamique de pouvoir entre la femme qui donne le service et l'homme who get it, parce que he want more for less and you want like less for more. So c'est comme ça va jamais être.
He wants more for less.
C'est comme il veut plus de services et te payer moins, puis toi tu veux comme faire moins and get more.
Yeah.
Fait qu'il y aura toujours cette imbalance, comme cette imbalance, puis vraiment comprendre que comme la prostitution a toujours existé avec un système oppressif. And I think rendu là, c'est comme it's not my place, moi en tant que personne qui a le choix d'être juste comme you should do it or you shouldn't. Mais c'est vraiment les personnes, comme t'as dit, comme sur TikTok, j'en ai vu plein de filles qui étaient comme this is not it, like this is not it. J'ai vu une fille vraiment dire que comme arrêtez de faire comme si quand tu vas, like, you get money from an older man, c'est juste que comme he gives you money to give you money. Il y a un échange sexuel, whether you like.
I saw that sugar daddy, sugar baby thing. No, you have like like honestly, if you want, like if you're gonna get your rent paid and like you're gonna have sex, like you're gonna have to have sex. Like but we don't talk about that. Like me, for the longest time before really like looking and like getting into like doing my research, for the longest time I really thought like sugar daddy, sugar baby, there was no sex involved because of how it was so glamorized, right? And it's like anybody can do this. No, you do have to engage in sexual activity.
I don't want come like he's touching you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's not like you're smiling and like $3,000. This is not it.
Yeah.
This is not it.
And we have to be open about that. And I feel like sometimes we're scared to be open about it because we understand the stigma and we don't want to be, again, shamed by our oppressors, men, right? Because they're looking for the opportunity to shame us, right? They're looking for the opportunity to shame us. And again, this is a result of the patriarchal society that we live in. We can't fully be honest about the ups and downs of our activities when we're being watched like a hawk and waiting to fuck up, you know?
Ouais.
And that's the unfortunate part of it. But that leads to a lot of dishonesty, and that leads to a lot of women following a path that they think is a certain way, but then isn't.
Fait que c'est vraiment, ça m'a vraiment choqué. Pour de vrai, le texte est vraiment bon.
Yeah.
Je sens que les gens vont lire. And then, how it comes to like female rapper comme Can ont droit de like rap about their pussy, they do. But do they have a choice? Puis c'est là que je veux en venir parce que quand on parle de Meg, de Cardi B, and en plus, I think Cardi B talked about this, que que genre, I wish I could rap about other things, mais people don't care si je parle de comme des difficultés de la vie ou de comme, c'est pas juste que comme they just always rap about their pussy, puis ils ont le droit, puis whatever, ou qui comme elles pourraient pas parler, elles ont pas le range pour parler d'autres choses, mais c'est comme, est-ce qu'on serait aussi intéressé if it was not, que c'était pas juste de l'hypersexualisation, comme, est-ce qu'on serait vraiment juste, est-ce que ça ferait le chart, comme, t'as besoin de faire une chanson comme WAP to get in the chart. C'est ça la réalité.
Especially when you're a black woman.
Especially when you're a
We're
black
already put in such a narrow
woman.
box. It's like we don't have the ability to exist.
Especially when you're a black woman. Puis quand at some point, on trouve qu'il est comme, you're disposable, qu'il est comme, like Nikki, genre, t'es trop vieille to do that, like, sexualized, virgin, puis on est comme, oh, there's a new girl doing this, so next, comme t'as plus rapport. So, les femmes deviennent vraiment disposable, c'est comme toujours on to the next, the next, the next, the next, the next. Et c'est pas parce que elles font ça et qu'elles sont victimes de misogynie que it's a feminist act. C'est ça l'affaire.
Yes, and we have to look at how we can't call everything empowering.
No.
Like we cannot call everything empowering. Some things are just there, you know? Some things are just there. We can't call everything empowering. And I said this at the beginning of the episode. Sometimes I feel like we feel guilty in participating in things that we know are aligned with patriarchal values. So to not feel bad about it, we try to reappropriate it and call it feminism or call it women empowerment. Now, this is again our opinion. Feel free to challenge it, especially this, like, definitely feel free to challenge it, because I do feel like there is a certain, I'm torn in the sense because I do feel like there's a certain power in having agency of your sexuality and the way that you are perceived. But how much of it is it truly agency? Like, is it truly like,
mais c'est comme deux choses peuvent exister en même temps.
Exactly.
Tout n'est pas mutuellement exclusif. So you can, ça se peut que you enjoy doing it.
Yes.
Ça se peut que you enjoy the process puis que t'aimes ça puis tout. Mais ça enlève pas le fait que comme it's still centering the male gaze. Et un bon exemple de ça, c'est Chloé Bailey.
Yes.
La façon de quand elle a commencé à être plus like, you know, sexual et tout. Like, elle est le nombre de followers sur son Instagram a augmenté, mais le nombre de personnes qui écoutent la musique de Chloé a pas augmenté.
But that's the thing.
On peut pas faire comme si que comme it was only empowering because it was for her, parce que it still involves a man.
And look, there's a Kimberly Nicole Foster. I really love her. For Harriet.
Shout out
to For Harriet. We've given her props mad times. I love her.
Aussi.
And there's a video that she made. She talked about that, and she explained how, why is it that sexual liberation for us kind of looks exactly like when men are sexualizing us? Why does it look exactly the same? You know what I mean? Because you have something like WAP, there's no men involved and it's all women, or like the twerk video with like City Girls and Cardi B, it's all women. But why do the images resemble too much like when it's men who are in control and then you're the background dancer of a male music video?
True.
It's like, but you know, the thing is, it's hard for us to imagine what sexual liberation looks like when we live in a patriarchal society. It's impossible for us to really imagine, like, what does it look like? And that's why it's really, really hard for us to come to that understanding. Like, what is it to be sexually free? I don't think we know what it is because it's so hard. It's the same way as, like, what does black liberation look like? Like, we can have ideas, but do we truly know what it looks like when when we live in a white supremacist society? It's like, how can we come to that? Like, how can we make an image of what it looks like? So it's hard for us to understand that. And again, we live in a capitalist society. What is profitable for women, especially black women, is to be sexual. So how much of it is it truly your choice? And it's okay to applaud women having agency and criticize the idea of agency. That agency is only we only really it's looking exactly like how it is when men are sexualizing us.
Parce que c'est comme parce que c'est pour moi, être libre, it's really a matter of choice. Et si c'est comme the only way to get the currency is to be hypersexualized, is it really? You don't have a choice. Puis en plus, you see it in the culture, literally, comme les Instagram models, la façon dont ils se présentent, avec les célébrités, you have to be sexy. La façon que comme on se présente the way we all buy the same shirt like on Shein.
Shein, bitch.
Like, c'est parce que parce qu'on comprend, because we know, we actually know.
Yeah.
Fait que faire comme si like, oh, it's us being free.
How free are
like,
we?
Free?
Like
is
how
it the
free?
word? Il faut comprendre que comme I live for it. Like comme I live for the stunt.
I love that shit.
I love the stunt.
I want to see
J'adore.
ass. I
literally want to see ass.
I literally want to see ass.
I literally want to see ass.
I literally like,
c'est ça qu'il faut comprendre.
Shake that ass. Like.
It's not even like some, don't do it. C'est comme,
no, I want to see it. I love
comme,
it.
Chloé là,
Please,
I live
going.
for her. Like, keep going.
Her fucking silhouette challenge,
Yo.
the busted challenge. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Indeed, you know? But, and at the same time, again, we have to, let's go deeper than that. Like, let's go deeper than, yes, queen, we're going somewhere with feminism, and then it doesn't have to also be, ew, you fucking whore. Like, it doesn't have to be those two. It can be a middle ground of us understanding. Like, I love the idea of us having agency, but we need to admit that we are, especially as Black women, placed in a narrow box, and our freedom is like, yeah, as long as you fit in that box. And also, damn, bitch, when the liquor's hitting, there's also an inaccessibility that is sold with that image. There's an inaccessibility with the whole be a freak like Megan Thee Stallion, be out there with your booty cheeks. There's an inaccessibility that is sold to women because not all women can do that, and not all women are allowed to do that in the system that we live in.
No women are seen that way.
Lizzo be doing that too.
She be shaking her ass.
She been shaking that ass.
She really been.
You know what I mean? But it's not, the reception isn't the same. She's still being policed. You know what I mean? Because she is oppressed by the system of fat phobia. So it's like, we look at that and it's like, yes, Meg, light-skinned, thick bitch with the little ass, like, yes, but then it doesn't work for Lizzo. So it's like, how empowering is it when it's only a specific demographic of women that are being praised for being quote unquote sexually liberated? And for me, again, sexual liberation for me is do whatever the fuck you want with your body. You're not having sex at all and you decide to be covered from head to toe. You're as sexually liberated than as the shorty that's shaking her ass, for sure. But the way that we look at like being naked and shaking our ass as empowering and like as progressive for feminism and all of that, I feel like we're completely forgetting the fact that systems of oppression still exist, and a lot of women can't do that.
Wow.
And we're not talking about it the same way we're saying like you see women all the time being like, don't worry about it. You don't need to do all that housework shit because I'm a hoe and I still got wifed. That's good for you. But a lot of women are hoes, and not only are they not getting wifed, they're getting killed for that, you know?
They're getting killed.
And it's like, there's no conversation about that. So that's kind of like, so I don't believe that WAP or all that shit. I don't believe it's empowering. I think it's dope.
I think it's fun.
I think it's so
fun.
much fun, and I love that shit. I love that shit.
I think it's fun.
But I don't think it's taking us anywhere.
Mais c'est pas parce que j'aime et c'est pas parce que les gars hate que it's feminism.
Yes, it's not.
Non. Il faut que les gens comprennent que le féminisme c'est radical.
Yeah.
Puis la chanson WAP doesn't dismantle anything.
It doesn't, and it's okay. And not everything
okay.
has to be a political statement. Like, we can just enjoy things for fun. It doesn't all have to be a political statement. And I think that's what we have to understand is like, look, a lot of what is happening is that we're seeing, I think sometimes we tend to view people that are part of an oppressive system, reclaim it and like participate kind of like as a leader of that system. We look at that as empowerment. Like, it's like the same way that we look at like women cops or like women politicians. It's like power to the people, but it's like, no, like you're still part of an oppressive system that oppresses you. You just decided to actively participate in it and like have a role in it. But how empowering is that really? Because it's not.
Just tout n'a pas besoin d'être empowered. Like, comme t'as dit, les choses peuvent juste exister. And we can
like I love WAP. Like, it's fun.
On peut vraiment keep going. Like,
and I love Meg.
Exactly. And
I actually love Meg. I just don't look at her as like the feminist leader that we claim she is.
Exactement. Elle peut juste exister. She really can just exist. Puis je trouve que souvent les critiques par rapport à Meg not rapping about other things, souvent c'est des hommes qui le font, puis it's rooted in, c'est vraiment
hating women.
Ouais, c'est vraiment hating women. Genre c'est pas, it's not like, oh, je pense que non, c'est vraiment hating women et c'est vraiment pas avouer que comme we are not allowed to have the range that men have parce que comme still
and if you want to hate something, honestly, the way that men talk about Meg is like, if you want to hate something, like hate the system, hate the patriarchy that's making it, as if I'm sure she has a lot of fun tales that she would like to tell us, but it's not going to sell as much as what her talking about how good her pussy is.
Exactement. Puis j'ai vu quelque chose qui disait que comme when you see women acting away, surtout quand on parle d'hypersexualisation, il y avait une discussion sur TikTok qui parlait de how young girls are really hypersexualized, puis comme aussi performent leur féminité de façon vraiment hypersexualisée, and that que comme it's not normal, mais c'est pas la petite fille de 13 ans que tu dois dire it's not normal, c'est une réflexion du système,
oui.
And like how we impose shit on women at a really really young age, as young girls. Puis la même façon que la femme transgenre était genre, oh, when I started la prostitution, c'était très un fuck you to society. I feel like black women, surtout le fait qu'on est hypersexualisé d'une phase vraiment vraiment jeune, seeing someone like Meg and like shaking her ass, we feel like it's a fuck you to society parce que we've been sexualized for so long.
Yeah.
Puis on est vraiment juste comme finally fuck, we're just doing whatever the fuck we want. Mais c'est pas nécessairement du féminisme, and we really have to tackle like in what it is. Like c'est enraciné dans quoi en fait?
Yes, exactly, absolutely, and it's not feminism, and it's okay. It's totally fine. Not everything has to be a political statement, like we said. It's not, and I think it's also this idea of like comfort, like because it's all we know.
True.
It's really all we know.
It's really all we know.
It's like this security, this comfort that like we see men doing this to us all the time. So us taking control of it looks as if it's progressive, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not that progressive. And also to like, even these women like Meg and Cardi B that are so open with being like sexual and all of that, even these women that we feel are like completely like breaking the barriers of slut shaming and all of that, even them, there are lyrics that they would say, for example, that are showing that I'm that girl, but I'm not that girl.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a hoe, but not a ho-ho.
I'm not a ho-ho.
I'm a hoe, but I got picked.
But I'm a hoe, right? I'm
not a full hoe.
But listen, I didn't have to fuck my way out of that. I got my nigga, and you know, it's like it's still like it's not promoting what we think it's. If it's really that, it's like. You're a hoe and you're a hoe, period.
Mais il y a eu cette critique de JT, because she was doing that. She was really like, I'm a hoe, and then as soon as like you got picked. Like I'm like y'all
bitches, and it's like even those women that you feel are the leaders of the sexual liberation movement also are very misogynistic as well, and it's fine to admit it. Like their lyrics are very much, I didn't have to fuck my way to the top. You be fucking this nigga for this, and I fuck this nigga for a flight. You fuck him for this meal. Like a lot of their lyrics are putting other women down. It's like for their for their version of sexual liberation as well. So it's like.
It sounds like pick me.
It is some pick me shit.
It kind of sounds like a pick me.
It's some pick me shit, and it's like, girl, it's cool, but like, I'm not gonna call that empowering. Like, I'm not gonna call that empowering. Meg made a statement one time. She was like, I stay fucking my exes to not increase my body count. So I cannot look at you as this like empowering sexually, because like, yeah, you're a freak, but you're not a freak like that. You're still not gonna be that kind of freak. Because you still have to respect yourself, and you still have to. So it's like there's still that level of respectability politics that I can't tie in with the whole I'm a hoe and I'm free shit. You're not that type of hoe. There's always gonna be that type of hoe, and that's not gonna be me. So for me, that's not empowering, and that's just cool. And I love Meg. Again, like how many times we defended Shorty on this podcast? We're hotties. We love Meg. We love Meg, but it's just I can love Meg and admit that her what she does personally for me does nothing for feminism. But again, y'all are definitely free to debate this, comment, whatever. This is just kind of where we stand right now. Again, our opinions change all the time.
Ça peut changer demain.
All the time.
Pas vous mentir.
So kind of like, this is what it is. Like, it's not feminism. Okay, let's talk about beauty. So, Another phrase that we hear a lot, and I think this is the one that I'm gonna need you, bitch, to deconstruct this with me. The whole, I don't wear makeup for anybody else. I wear makeup for myself. I wear makeup because it's me. I love makeup. It's my choice. I got a BBL. It's my choice. I got this nose job. It's my choice. Basically, the way that we participate in the system of beauty is fully our choice. Now, the thing with choice, and again, for Harriet said that, and I thought it was really interesting the way that she put it. I think it can only be a choice if we can opt in of beauty culture and opt out without it affecting anything in our life. Like without there being any consequences, without it affecting our positionality in life. And I was like, this is it.
That's it.
That's it.
That is it. This is actually it.
We can fully comfortably be like, it's a choice if I opt in and opt out of the system of beauty, there are no consequences to my day-to-day life. And I cannot say that me not participating in beauty culture, there are consequences. There are consequences.
Il y a 100% des conséquences.
There's consequences. And listen, I am someone that is deep in beauty, the system of beauty. I get my mani-pedis. My face has to be beat. Bitch, I didn't find my lash glue before coming to the episode. And pour de vrai, Beck, si j'avais pas trouvé mon lash glue, I would have been like on reschedule. I was not gonna do it. Like I needed my lashes. Like I always need to, and I don't necessarily feel like, oh my God, like I don't see that as a burden. I enjoy it, right? I really enjoy makeup and hair and lashes and nails. I love that shit, outfits, whatever. But I have to be honest with myself and say, is part of that love the love of the way that the world receives me when I am an active participator in the system of beauty?
Look. Look, beauty and the way we present ourselves, ça fait partie du whole brand de woke, whatever. If we keep it up.
If we're gonna be
vraiment honnête.
If we're gonna keep it a buck.
Moi, je me souviens de la journée que Titi m'a dit Beck.
No, you calling me out.
Elle a dit Beck. Now. Oh, David, now, à chaque fois que we go anywhere, comme une conférence, like another podcast, ou juste genre, we do our own episode, comme on est 10 on 10.
No, we have to look good.
Fait que c'est pas un hasard, là, que comme à chaque épisode, comme, oh, Beck, I love your shirt. Oh,
nah,
Titi, I love your hair.
We be like, what are you wearing?
C'est planifié, là. Yeah. C'est planifié, ça fait partie du brand. And people... Ça fait la différence. Comme je peux même pas mentir, dire que ça fait zéro différence. Parce que les gens le disent. Yeah. Comme, oh, j'aime comment vous êtes toujours belle, comment vous êtes toujours... We know. C'est une stratégie. Non, mais c'est une stratégie. C'est une stratégie. Comme, you have to understand que c'est une stratégie parce que on est... It's really on some... On sait que les gens... People are going to... Whatever we're going to say, people are going to receive it better if they find us attractive.
We know this shit.
We know. It's a fact. It's a proven fact. This is
not even on some cocky shit. It's on some strategic shit, bitch.
Ouais, c'est vraiment comme stratégiquement comme if you look good, les gens vont receive the thing that you like say, whatever you're saying, genre d'une façon différente. And like us, en plus, quand on parle de desirability politics, being thin and stuff, like it just works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, like you're at an advantage.
Yeah.
And we can't that's why how much of it is really a choice or how much and even if you love it, like I'm not like I don't feel cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Ooh, child. Like how much of bitch 1 second. Okay. How much of it is really a choice? And how much of it is truly you really, really appreciate the way that the world receives you and you understand that your experience every day is so much more accentuated the better you look. And look, you can just know, like we gave the example. We were talking about this like a couple days ago. We were talking about Sephora. When you go to Sephora and you're busted, and when I say busted, I'm not even saying, like you're not on 10. Like you just regular... Like when I go to Sephora, I have my do-rag and my glasses and my sweatpants. nobody checks for me. And they kind of even look at me like on some like, girl, are you lost?
Ouais, tu sais qu'est-ce que tu veux?
But when I go to Sephora and I have a beat face, it's like, how can I help you? Like, you know, it's like...
Non, mais en plus, mais il y a plein de magasins que c'est comme ça. Que if you... Quand si tu rentres d'une certaine façon, comme... Ils vont même pas te servir là. If you don't have makeup on, t'es pas un peu, genre, t'as l'air un peu de quelqu'un qui a comme les moyens. It tells something to people. Comme, you know, like the dress, how you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
It's flawed, but it's not. Dans le sens que comme, it shouldn't be a thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
Les gens vont vraiment te traiter d'une façon, dépendamment de la façon dont ils te perçoivent. And as a woman, you can see it. Yeah. You can feel it. C'est pas vrai que je vais dans une fête. Comme, encore une fois, j'enjoy le processus. Like,
I love it. It's so much fun.
I love
Getting ready?
I love it.
It's a vibe.
I love it.
T'as ton beat.
Ouais,
nice.
Mais même when I get ready, I know, la minute que je décide, am I doing a puff or je mets like this?
Yeah.
Like, même dans le processus, I know how I'm going to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, I just know how I'm going to be seen. Puis c'est pour ça que quand on revient au pick me shit de genre, oh, like, I do it for myself et tout, like, the we. Like, I do it for myself. And yes, it's fun. Actually, je suis vraiment dans un processus de comme having wigs, like, every color. And just like
You've been killing
fun.
that shit, dog.
And having fun with it. Je veux vraiment le faire, but I know that que je vais être perçue d'une autre façon que if I have my natural hair out. Yeah. C'est vraiment juste un fait. So, yes, I enjoy the process, but again, if I opt out of this, je sais que je vais être perçue d'une façon différente.
The treatment is not the same, and we have to admit that. Like, you can be a confident woman and admit the fact that you're not wearing makeup only for yourself. And and I 100% don't believe in shaming women for the way that they choose to survive in the patriarchal, capitalist, white supremacist society that we live in. I can never do that. But I think that we have to have nuance, because the idea of it's almost the idea of wearing makeup and like participating in the system of beauty is like this, I fuck the system, I'm my, like, it's not. It's not. It's just you've chosen you've chosen a way to survive in the capitalist society, in the patriarchal society that we live in. And here's the thing with beauty, okay? The whole beauty is subjective thing. We're too many episodes deep to be on some beauty is subjective shit. Like, we're too many episodes deep, fam. We can't be saying that. Like, we have to be real. Beauty is not subjective. And essentially, beauty is based off of systems of inequalities. Multiple systems of inequality. And the more you benefit... basically, the more you benefit from systems of inequality, the more beautiful you are.
Exactement.
So all of these systems, anti-fatness, so fat phobia, anti-blackness, texturism, colorism, futurism, you know, all of these fun things. Like, if you benefit from these systems, you are more attractive. You are seen as you're higher up the ladder of what is considered to be beautiful. And we know what it is. Media messages tell us what is beautiful all the time. All the time. That's why when you watch a movie, it's never going to be the person in the wheelchair that's going to be the soft princess, cutie pie that these niggas want, right? Because we know what beautiful is.
Mais c'est ça, comme je suis vraiment contente que tu as bring up ce point-là, parce que les gens me disent, puis je veux vraiment qu'on arrête de mentir collectivement.
Let's stop lying.
Comme, oh, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Parce que même si la personne te trouve attractive despite of the system, sometimes they're like ashamed. Puis j'ai vu beaucoup de personnes, like fat women saying like, yes, niggas come in my DMs, but I'm never gonna be claimed. Like, it's not the same claiming shit. Genre, comme, c'est parce qu'on sait comment c'est vu par la société, comment c'est vu par les autres. Puis c'est vraiment facile de dire love yourself when you benefit from this. Ou même dire que comme, I don't have to put makeup when you're white. Ou que comme t'as des traits, comme, non, like, I know, comme, je sais personnellement que comme, comment faire mon make-up and like qu'est-ce que je dois enhance, quel feature je dois enhance dans, like, on my face to be more like seen as more beautiful, comme je sais. I'm literally conscious of that.
Yes.
So c'est comme on peut pas faire comme si que comme ouais mais like it's c'est pas tout le monde qui trouve... Non, parce que si on n'avait pas tout le même standard comme imposé à tous, mon Instagram feed ressemblerait pas à ce qui ressemble présentement.
Yes.
And it's the same thing.
Yes.
Comme it's the same thing. Puis c'est genre, comme moi, personnellement, I know what I'm doing quand je mets un chandail normal and when I'm putting a crop top on. Je sais qu'est-ce que je fais. Like, I know, like, que comme, on va me voir d'une certaine façon que comme, oh, Beck, I love your abs, da, 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 versus que comme j'ai juste un chandail. I know. Fait que c'est comme, c'est vraiment, moi, je veux vraiment qu'on arrête de mentir, peut-être comme, love yourself, comme si c'était dans la tête des gens. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Genre, on va vraiment te traiter de façon différente if we don't find you conventionally attractive.
It's easy to say love yourself when the world makes you feel welcome. You know, like when you're literally welcome in the world. And it's pour ça que comme the whole love yourself thing, comme t'as dit, it's dead. It's dead. And we have to understand that. So beauty is based off of systems of inequalities. I know it's not fun to hear, but that's essentially the case. And if you're considered to be beautiful, you benefit from at least one or two systems of inequality.
At least one or two.
And we're aware of this. And even if we're just staying on makeup, even the way we do our makeup emphasizes all of these systems of inequality. Like the idea of like contouring, making your face look thinner, giving dimension to your face. It's rooted in fat phobia. The idea of like blush and like the giving you youth, you know, like youth ageism, your system benefiting from that system. You know what I mean? Like the bright under eyes, like no lines, like, you know what I mean? Like concealer, all that shit. It's like a lot of, and these are all systems that we benefit from, and we have to be understanding of that. And I can love makeup, and bitch, this podcast is not gonna make me stop beating my face. I'm gonna
c'est pas un statement de genre on mettra plus de make-up. No. Best believe it's gonna stay like that.
It won't be like that. It's not gonna go anywhere. But we're understanding that it's not. I really wish I could really fully stand here and be like, I'm the most confident bitch in the world, and I'm wearing makeup just because I want to. I wish I could say that. And also, comme t'as dit, the idea of like some women don't wear makeup. The women that are not wearing makeup, like, and I'm not saying all women, but the most women that are not wearing makeup and that are not chastised for it are women that naturally benefit from these systems of oppression. Like Lil Durk's shorty, India Royale. She never wears makeup. She's known for that. She never wears makeup. But she's light-skinned. She's skinny. She's like,
come on.
But, you know, she's gorgeous, fam. Like, bitch, I wouldn't beat my face, too. What you talking about? Like,
je me souviens, c'est comme le statement de... Alicia Keys quand elle disait comme I'm gonna stop wearing makeup, puis ça juste comme oh my gosh, bro, Alicia Keys, fam, with all the right features, ça veut rien dire.
Yes.
Ça veut absolument rien dire. Comme t'as dit, quand you naturally benefit from all these systems.
Yes, and that's the thing, and it's not, and when you do, it's not pretty privilege. It's desirability.
Yeah, desirability politics.
It's the politics of desirability, and attractiveness is more than just being able to get a date. It's being able to literally survive. It's you're able to live. People that don't benefit from these systems, even like the idea, like we don't understand how being seen as beautiful gives you so many advantages in life. You can literally move up the scale the better that you look, and that could be looked at like the criminal justice system. Attractive people get harsher sentences. And why do you think that lawyers tell you to dress a certain way when you're going to trial? Ouais. It's literally where the way that you appeal to people has an effect on how they view you and your person. And that's why when we're looking at statistically, dark-skinned people are more likely to be to have harsher sentences than people are of lighter skin or people that are white. Because when we're looking at this beauty, one element of being considered beautiful is benefiting from anti-blackness. So then people that are not light-skinned, people that are dark-skinned, it's bigger than you're not getting a date is, bitch, you have more chances of going to jail.
Yeah, the jail or like getting the job. Vraiment.
Survival, especially if we look at in Africa, especially in West Africa, when we're looking at people that want to get married or want to get jobs. That's why skin bleaching is so intense there. think in Senegal it's like 71% of the people bleach, and it's survival tactics. So we have to understand that like the system of beauty, when you're considered beautiful, there are other people that are dying because they're not. Exactly. And we have to look at that. We're aware of that, and that's why we try so hard to participate in the system of beauty. Subconsciously, we know that if I don't do this, I don't want to be treated like the people that I am oppressing, you know, and we're aware of that. We're fully aware of that. Attractive people get better things in life. And even our day-to-day conversations, the way that we talk, oh my God, he cheated on me with someone that looked like that, as if that if they looked better, it would make it would make a little bit more sense. Or like, I can't believe I dated someone, like, you're so ugly and you had the nerve to treat me like this. Mm-hmm. We hear this all the time.
Déjà, pick a struggle. Don't be mean and ugly. Bitch, that's me.
Been there. Been there, bitch. I
said that. Struggle. Don't be mean and ugly.
Yo, you ugly as fuck, and then you had the nerve to fuck with me, like play with me. Like it's we're basically insinuating that if that person looked better, it would have made a little bit more sense. It's like,
oh, you're pretty, you can be
mean. Like, you can be mean.
En parlant de ça, il y a beaucoup de gens qui disent que comme, oh, I don't care if she's pretty, if she's mean, comme she's ugly. Pas vrai.
No, that's not
Y'all
true.
let pretty people being mean all the time. Like, je veux vraiment que les gens arrêtent de dire ça, parce que y'all really be letting people like qui sont vraiment considérés like as attractive being mean, being evil all the time.
Exactly. There's so it's like it's more than just being able to get a date. It's literally your positionality in life. Mm-hmm. You're able to get things, you're able to have a better quality of life the better you look, and we're aware of these things. And also, you know, we live in a capitalist society, not only a patriarchal society, but we live in a capitalist society. So it's like we're being forced into consumerism a lot with beauty.
Yeah.
We're especially Black women, bro, we spend 4 to 6 times more than other women for hair products. You can't tell me that all of that is just, oh, I just love to experiment with wigs. No, a lot. The system is benefiting from our internalized anti-Blackness, and that's why we're spending so much on hair.
Exactement. Ça revient au like begging a Black man for attention, like pursue comme on activement. I feel like Black women on pursue comme activement womanhood. Vraiment intensively.
Yes.
C'est ça que comme on est celles qui vont comme spend the most on makeup, spend the most on hair, because on est legit at the bottom and we need to survive. Fait qu'on est constamment en train de pursue, parce que people are shaming us also a lot. Comme il y a eu une discussion complète sur les bonnets. Moi, je comprenais tellement pas. I was like, this is not that deep. It's never been that deep. Mais c'est comme les femmes noires sont constamment police, and we feel que comme on doit toujours like having the wig and having like les edges, this is me, laid edges, like vraiment comme, and being beat et tout. So c'est comme, c'est vraiment nous pursuing this idea of womanhood dans un système who will never give us that.
Exactly.
Never.
But we're trying really hard.
And we're trying, and we're being transphobic while doing, parce qu'on veut vraiment like se distancer. So it's like,
we have to admit where that's coming from. And I think, again, it's really hard to admit it when you have men being like, y'all wear makeup for us. Y'all wear makeup for us. And it's like, I'm not about to have this conversation with you. Like, I'm not about to have this conversation with you. But it, like, truly, we have to understand that we are aware of these systems of inequalities. We're aware of that. Like, the idea, like, look, as women, especially as women, beauty is our main form of capital. Like, we understand that if we're not beautiful, we're disposable. And we know that because we live in a patriarchal society. We're only really deemed useful by the ones at the top who are white men, like, if we don't benefit from if we're not beautiful. So we try to seek it. And there's I remember Aisha from, I forgot her last name, but Aisha from The Grapevine, I love her, but I don't always agree with what she says, but I love her. And still, she said that honestly, for a woman to be valuable in society, you need 3 things. You need youth, fertility, and beauty. Yes. And that's the 3 things that we constantly seek to look young. That's why anti-aging products are forever going to be around, and we're always going to use them. It's always and it's a survival tactic, because we know that if you don't look young, you go through ageism. And that's why we always feel like there's a ticking time clock for when Black women, or just women in general, turn 30, that same pressure is not put on men, right? The idea of like, you have to have shit together, you have to look this way, you have to, and that's why we're always like the whole Black don't crack. And like, we see these videos of like women that are like, guess my age. Oh no, I'm not 50. I'm not 30. I'm actually 50. And it's like, we're so excited about that. We're so excited with looking young.
And we wish the same for us.
We wish the same for us. Yeah. It's like youth is something that we seek, and it's coming from a place of, we know that our treatment in life is better. Yeah. The more youthful we look, the more beautiful we look, the more we understand that. And we cannot blame women for that. We have to blame the patriarchy. We have to blame the patriarchy, but we also have to be honest in understanding that the reason why we're avid participators in beauty culture is it is a survival tactic.
Puis il faut comprendre, l'affaire qu'il faut vraiment comprendre avec ça, c'est que nous, si on acknowledge, si on reconnaît ça, ça va être vraiment plus facile de le déconstruire and like go forward. Mais dire que comme je mets le make-up for me, et ça déconstruit rien. Encore une fois, it doesn't do anything.
And the way we do our makeup is very problematic as well. I contour my nose again to give a slimmer nose, again rooted in anti-Blackness, right? Like there's a lot of things that we do, and we have to talk about it. And the same way with plastic surgery, and this could ruffle some feathers as well, like the whole plastic surgery thing. I am 100% for. You don't like it, bitch, change it. Do you? I love when women take control and like do what they have to do. Get your lips done. Get your ass, get your BBL, get your nose job, do what you have to do. But we have to, like, I don't necessarily think that as much as like, girl, do you, it's not beneficial to feminism, in my opinion.
No.
But the way that we talk about it, it's like as if BBLs are the most empowering thing ever. And it's like, you understand that that person is risking their life to be accepted in the society, the patriarchal standards that were set for her. Mm-hmm. Like that is her way of surviving it. And the whole, I'm doing this nose job for me, I'm doing this BBL for me. And I saw this video on TikTok that was like, if you were to be on a planet by yourself, no one around, no outside opinion, would you have gotten that done? No, because your idea of, I need to change my nose because my nose is not narrow enough, that idea is being influenced by the fact that we live in a white supremacist society. Exactement. And European noses are what is what is going to get you to a higher level of respect and appreciation in this world. You know that's why you're getting it.
Toutes les façons que tu utilises pour like change the way you look.
Everything.
And les diètes, going to the gym, faire un BBL, tout ça
and you
compte.
Tweeted about that. And let's talk about that. Your tweet about BBLs.
Yo, people came for me. So my tweet was basically, I said, if you go to the gym for the same reason someone go like have a BBL, you are not morally superior to that person.
Yep.
That was the tweet. And people came for me saying that, no, going to the gym, it's also for your health et tout. Non. First of all, didn't understand the statement. J'ai dit, so see, it's one thing going to the gym pour avoir like a better health, on va dire un meilleur cardio, let's say. And it's another thing going to the gym parce que you want to have like the bottle shape. Mais c'est comme, there's no difference with you going to the gym and get that shape, quelqu'un qui économise to go pour faire son BBL. There's no right or wrong. It's the same thing. C'est pour atteindre les mêmes standards de beauté, like the white supremacists, like patriarcal et tout. Parce que, let's be honest. Like, honest, please. Let's be honest. Yeah. Si le gym te faisait juste être comme, te donner une meilleure shape, dans le sens que si le gym c'était juste toi having a better cardio, est-ce que tu irais au gym? Si tu restais exactement pareil, peu importe la façon,
your weight wouldn't
change at all. Bon, si tu perdais pas de poids, would you go to the gym? Would you go to the gym? Like,
you wouldn't
real?
Get beefer, like you wouldn't like nothing changed.
Nothing changed. But you're healthier. Est-ce que tu irais? Non, vous iriez pas au gym. C'est pas la raison pour que tu achètes un waist trainer. C'est pas la raison pour laquelle tu fais des squats. C'est pas c'est vraiment to look a certain way. Et c'est la même façon que quelqu'un va faire son BBL pour look a certain way. You go to the gym to look a certain way. Et pour de vrai, either way, I'm not judging you. all.
Yes.
I'm not saying stop going to the gym.
Do what
Je
you
te
have
dis,
to do.
le complexe de supériorité, it's not what you think it is. It's really not. It's not like, comme, après un certain âge, it's gonna fall, blah, blah, me. No. It's, you are trying to appeal to the same people. It's the same thing if it's the same goal. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Like, we have to be honest.
It's only about being
like,
honest.
the thing is, it's like, when you go through so much conditioning through different systems, it's really hard to do anything truly for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Je pense que, I think, les gens ont cette obsession de croire qu'ils ont le choix. They really hate the idea qu'il y a un système en place et il y a une socialisation en place qui fait que we act a certain way.
Yeah.
They hate it. Ils sont comme, non, peu importe, le racisme, le système, ça. If I do the right choices, I'm gonna get to this place no matter what.
But it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. On est tous socialisés à penser d'une certaine façon and you have to be aware of that. Mais les gens sont vraiment juste comme, no. Et c'est vraiment cette idée de choix that kills people. Like, le fait que je dis que, yo, t'es socialisé à penser comme ça, it kills them. It really does.
And I think I think it's, in order for us to deconstruct it, we have to be honest.
We really do.
And I think that because, like, Beck and I, our deconstructing process has started a long time ago. So that's why now I don't feel no type of way when I'm like thinking, I'm like, damn. I don't really be doing this shit for me. And I'm really totally fine with that because now I can kind of understand the root cause. And again, I'm not going to stop wearing makeup. Like,
I really don't.
But I understand that a lot of it is rooted in survival. And it's not, and that doesn't mean, bitch, when you're beating your face in the morning, you're like, I'm a survivor. Like, it doesn't mean that you're like, it's not that, you're not thinking like that. You're just like, yo, I'm beating my face. But there's like, it just everyday things that we do, like when we post stories and like we apologize, like, I'm sorry guys, I look like shit.
What?
It's like, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry guys, like, I just wake up, yo, gee, t'es chez toi,
you be apologizing to people. How crazy is that? The whole concept of like letting go, when women let go once they start dating someone, it's like, oh, you let go, you let yourself go, you gained all this weight, so then if your husband cheats on you, it's going to be your fault, right? Mm-hmm. Because you let yourself go.
Juste le fait que, comme, durant la pandémie, people felt guilty parce qu'ils avaient pris du
poids. People are dying,
bro.
Like, yeah, but it's not. It's because we live in this system, and like we have to be aware of that. We have to understand it, and we have to be comfortable in knowing these things. And again, this is, if you're getting work done, if you're beating your face every day, if you cannot leave your house without makeup, that is 100% fine. And I could never criticize a woman for how she decides to survive the system that we live in.
Mm-hmm. Never.
Let's just not call it empowering. Let's just not call it feminism.
Let's just not. Okay, we have 15 minutes left.
Bitch, no way. Okay, no, we have time. We can cover the last point.
I think, yeah. Okay. So, le dernier point, so the last statement, I guess, it's Black women deserve luxury. Black women deserve nice thing. Là, I feel like it's je sais pas comment les gens vont prendre ce point-là et la façon que je vais le déconstruire, but I'm gonna just say my point. Encore une fois, vous pouvez comme commenter. Like,
this whole episode is a whole discussion.
It's a whole discussion.
Nothing is set in stone. Like,
absolument rien. Okay. So, I wanted to start by saying que comme... Okay. First of all, I love nice things. On va commencer par là. I do love nice things. Surtout this summer, I have this plan in mind to acquire so many like different shoes. Puis c'est des shoes qui coûtent les $500, $300.
You've been splurging.
Yeah. Ouais. Puis j'ai vraiment l'intention de continuer.
Yeah.
Dans ce, I really love nice things. I really do. Et c'est vraiment pas une attaque on like Black women loving nice things. But I want to get into like la façon dont on présente this idea of like Black women in luxury, Black women deserve this, Black women deserve that, Vraiment décortiquer la façon dont on présente ce mouvement, la façon dont on présente comme ce standard et à la façon aussi qu'on le présente comme une libération de I don't know what, like comme this is the way to go, genre. I want to say le succès d'un individu, peu importe qui, like a Black person, like a person from LGBTQ community, like a disabled person, Le succès d'un individu n'est pas synonyme de libération pour les autres de sa communauté. It isn't. Fait que even me and Titi being successful with work, whatever, on va dire like doing mad money et tout, va pas faire en sorte que les black people are less poor. It just won't. It never will be that. Puis j'ai vraiment l'impression que comme we get it twisted, surtout quand on parle de like représentation and seeing like more black millionaires, veut dire que comme we're getting somewhere. It just it's not.
That's called fictive kinship.
Ouais, c'est ça que j'allais dire. Oui, yeah.
Yo,
okay, if you remember the first episode, on en a parlé, but we didn't have the term.
Oh, t'as trouvé
OK, so quand au premier épisode, on parlait du fait que comme, as a black person, quand tu vois une personne noire, on va dire à la télé, doing something bad, you feel that, oh shit. Like, comme si it has something to do with you and it doesn't. Puis on appelle ça fictive kinship, parenté fictive. I had to Google that shit in French. Parenté fictive. Ils ont un terme utilisé par les anthropologues et ethnographes pour décrire des formes de parenté ou de liens sociaux qui ne reposent sur aucun consanguine, sur lien de sang, ni affinal sur lien de mariage. Ce qui est en contraste avec la vraie parenté. So that's black people, because we share an oppression, we always feel que comme your success is my success and your failure is my failure. Like, we always feel like that. White people do not feel like that ever. Like, un homme blanc rentre dans une école and, like, kill all these kids. Ça ne dit rien à Mathieu. We said it in the first episode. Like, ça leur dit absolument rien because it doesn't concern them. Ils sont des individuals. We are not. So I feel like with this movement, what happens, c'est genre, on se présente premièrement, on se présente d'une façon que comme, OK, black woman in luxury, and on présente ce mouvement comme si it was doing something when it's not. Like, que comme black woman being luxury, comme si on défiait un système ou comme si genre on déconstruisait quelque chose when, again, we're not. Parce que la réalité, c'est que comme black people are poor. I really want everyone to be okay with this. Black people are poor. And people are poor. People are poor. Comme pour de vrai, la majorité des gens, like, vit paycheck par paycheck. Like, this is, je sais, peu importe le nombre de, comme, livres on financial advice qu'ils ont sorti, like, we are poor. And black people being, like, vraiment, genre, au bottom de, genre, la hiérarchie, c'est comme, oui, on n'est pas dans le game. But I feel like, on est my bad, on n'est pas dans le game. And it's okay. Like, it's really okay. Mais c'est genre, avec le problème avec the Black in Luxury movement, et tous les mouvements un peu comme ça, genre, comme LLC, les gens qui promotent, like, financial literacy, qui est comme, black people should do that to advance. C'est un peu comme si on présente que comme we could finance the system if only que comme we would invest more. Or if only we would like value the right thing à la place d'acheter des J's, va en voyage, get experience, do this. Comme si on pouvait finance the system et on essaie coûte que coûte d'ignorer qu'il y a des systèmes en place pour bring us down. And our generation, surtout notre génération, j'ai vraiment l'impression, we do everything as if we were the first one to do it. Et ça m'énerve. Toutes les conversations sur being an entrepreneur, like, you really feel like our parents and like our grandparents didn't talk about this.
Yeah. Ou, like the groundbreaking discoveries.
Ouais,
like what?
Ça. Comme, on parle beaucoup de generational wealth. Ça, c'est une grosse conversation. Puis on en parle vraiment comme si nos parents n'avaient pas changé de pays to give us a chance. Like vraiment comme going from like being in community.
Damn. That's crazy.
And like leaving everything behind pour qu'on ait like the smallest chance to do money. Yeah. Et on en parle vraiment comme si they don't know anything and we're
not our ancestors.
C'est ça, comme it's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. Et dans le fond, il y a une façon dont il y a un terme qui s'appelle Matrix of Domination. crédité à Patricia Hill Collins dans son livre Black Feminist Thought, où elle parle de 4 domaines de domination qui fait en sorte que les structures en place, les structures d'oppression en place, comment ils agissent on our everyday life, puis comment, genre, ils se reproduisent. So, elle décrit 4 domaines. So, elle parle de... Let me see my notes, because it was intense. Elle parle du domaine de structure, elle parle du domaine de discipline, elle parle du domaine d'émogénique, et elle parle aussi du domaine interpersonnel. Fait que c'est comme si you hear about structural, we hear about, I think, structural racism a lot, mais elle, c'est comme si she go deeper in it pour expliquer comment, OK, ces structures sont là. Ensuite, il y a la discipline, donc les règles qui font en sorte que comme they keep going, puis comment ils transparaissent dans la société. And then, il y a l'homogénie. So, c'est comme how we justify l'existence de ces systèmes. So, like, on va dire, men are more rational, like, black people are lower, toutes les, comme les stéréotypes qu'on impose dans la société qui fait qu'on pense comme ça. And then, interpersonal, fait que tout ce qu'on a internalisé et qu'on reproduit.
Okay.
So, black women in luxury, c'est us. On pense que we're doing something, mais on reproduit vraiment les systèmes qui sont déjà en place. When we go back to like the high value woman, et on va retourner like au pick me thing, like, oh, I'm a high value woman, I'm this. First of all, saying that you're a high value woman veut dire qu'il y a des women of no value.
Low value. Exactly.
Ça implique l'existence de women of no value. That's one. Also, high value woman, quand on parle de comme, il y a eu toutes des discussions sur les Birkin bags, to like having like 5-course meal et tout. On parle, ce qu'on essaie de faire, it's present wealth. Sans nécessairement avoir cette richesse, ou sans vraiment avoir des marqueurs de richesse qui font du sens. So it's like, if I present myself on social media with like a Birkin bag and like having 5-course meal, les gens vont me voir comme, oh shit, Beck is there.
Yeah.
Like, Beck is kind of there.
Yeah.
Like, comme, oh, j'ai mon appartement à 19 ans. Beck is kind of there.
Yeah.
Comme, on se présente, on prend ces marqueurs de wealth.
We want to be perceived that way.
Qui veulent absolument rien dire. Qui veulent absolument rien dire et qui sont aucunement une réflexion de ma communauté. So, we see that. We see, like, black people doing that. Fait que, like, comme, it's doable. It's doable. Like, c'est vraiment faisable. Mais qu'est-ce que ça veut dire vraiment if I'm doing this and j'ai comme this amount of student loan? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire vraiment if I'm doing this, but again, I'm one medical bill away to be homeless?
And qu'est-ce que ça veut dire when, again, we discussed how most black people are not rich, and that's totally fine because we take into account there's different systems that make us not be able to be rich, and we're steps behind, right? But what does that mean when you're a black woman in luxury, but you're in close proximity with people in poverty? Mm-hmm. And that it could be your friends, it could be your families, everything. So it's like, what does that truly mean?
Mm-hmm. Puis aussi, qu'est-ce que il y a Josie, yeah, shout out à Josie aussi parce que j'ai vraiment écouté son.
I love that video. I love that video.
Elle est vraiment smart. Mais elle parlait de comment, how like, am I really well off if I need to work to survive? Mm-hmm. So, est-ce que vraiment je suis arrivée if the minute I stop working, I'm in debt? Ou genre, je peux plus couvrir mes affaires? Ou je peux comme, est-ce que j'ai vraiment changé de classe sociale? Because it's not that easy. On fait vraiment comme si comme it's doable de passer d'une classe à une autre, but it's extremely... C'est vraiment rare. And comme le pourcentage est tellement faible, like, comme moins de 1% de personnes throughout their life change social class.
And usually it's through like marital status that you're able to do that. Let's be honest. It's mostly through marital status that you're able to do that. Otherwise you can't.
Yeah, and black women are not being picked.
And they're not being picked. Let's be real.
So
I saw something saying that a lot of this black woman in luxury is you truly just want to be treated like a white woman.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
Yes.
And that also goes with the whole divine feminine movement and the Black woman being feminine and like the divine femininity and it's like all of these movements, first of all, are incredibly transphobic. If you take the time to watch those videos about removing our masculine energy, and it's basically telling us the same thing that men have been telling us on how to behave in the system to be able to have a better quality of life. So we're essentially reappropriating patriarchy, but we're the ones that are leading it, which does not do anything for the liberation movement. I saw something that's like, get in touch with your femininity and don't start fights or don't have fights with your partner, simply stay quiet and then watch their energy come to yours. And then it's like, because that's your masculine energy that wants to argue it. And it's like, no, bitch, if something is bothering me, I'm gonna say it. Like, what does that have to do with masculine energy? The whole like binaries of like what is masculine energy is, it's like it's a lot. All of these movements, like the luxury, the feminine energy, all of that, it does not do anything for feminism.
C'est vraiment enraciné dans les mêmes systèmes d'oppression.
It's the same. It's just you're reappropriating it.
Yeah,
you're
it's a repackage.
Patriarchy.
It's a new package.
You're reappropriating patriarchy. You're reappropriating capitalism, and then rebranding it as freedom. But who are you freeing?
Exactement.
You know what I mean? Like we're still niggas is oppressed.
And this movement is excluding other people. Et ça revient encore à le débat de bonnet.
Yeah.
Or just like, and we have the feeling that if we buy into this, on va avoir like certains privilèges, but we don't.
We don't.
Puis il y a eu cet exemple with, like, au Québec, like le professeur qui a été arrêté and like went in prison pour like days.
Yeah. Wait.
Camara.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He was doing all the right things. Comme il était professeur et tout. Like, he had a wife, pregnant, blah, blah. Il était respectable. But it's still, le système va toujours te rappeler, like, you are at the bottom.
Honestly.
Peu importe ce que c'est, you really va te ramener real quick.
And this is not us saying we don't want Black women to have nice things.
Exactement.
I would love a bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want a bag.
I would like a bag. I would actually appreciate a bag. Like, you know what I mean? I would love a bag. But I don't think that it should be a whole movement. And even if it is a movement, it shouldn't be labeled as something that all women need to participate in order to be emancipated from our oppression. And I feel like the Black women in luxury movement or the divine femininity movement and the whatever movement, I feel like it's like respectability politics on steroids.
What?
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's kind of.
It's like, okay, but especially the femininity movement. And unfortunately, we really don't have enough time to tackle it at all. Like, we literally have a minute left. But basically, we just brought you guys in a conversation. Like, this is really how Beck and I be talking, like, on some regular shit. And we just brought you guys in. Our views might change. A lot of our views have changed. There are certain episodes I cannot listen to again. I won't, like, you know which one. That one episode, bitch, there's one episode we don't ever listen to that one because, we was talking shit.
No, c'est n'importe quoi.
But anyways, all that to say, we are bringing you guys into our process of deconstructing, and I love and I want us to have these types of episodes more because, again, our views can change, but this is kind of like where we are right now in questioning certain statements that are promoting female empowerment, that are promoting feminism, but in some ways, they're not progressive for us at all, and in some ways, even regressive a little bit.
Yeah. C'est vraiment nous qui vous amenez comme dans notre journey, dans notre process. I really hope that y'all are gonna live. Comment, parce qu'on va vraiment répondre. Comme we really want
leave comments. Even if y'all are like listening on Spotify or whatever, just go on YouTube, leave a comment. I know.
Même on the IG post, like, just leave a comment so we can have a conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about it. If there's enough engagement, we'll probably do like a live on it or something like that. But yeah, thank you. This is the first episode we were sipping on. That's funny.
That's fun.
So random.
It's fun.
It was really random. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us in this conversation again. Interact, please. I'm TT.
And I'm Beck.
Oh wow. We're what the kids call.
Whateva.
Bye.